Hi guys, I'm here to bring you your This Week at X's video for the week of August 24th through August 28th. So we are going to be going into week 2 of our 10-week training cycle, preparing us for a functional fitness competition on October 24th. So this week we will be doing 5 sets of 4 reps for all of our lifts. So our back squat, push press, deadlift, bench press, and clean. Remember, for our back squat, we were supersetting with step ups. So on Monday, after we back squat, after each set, you will superset with 12 alternating step ups. Then we have a chipper for our workout, and it is going for our advanced variation. We have 21, 15, 9 reps for time of sit ups, dumbbell thrusters, push ups. But you're going to do a 50-foot overhead walking lunge after each set. So you do 21 sit-ups, 21 thrusters, 21 push-ups, 50-foot overhead walking lunge, 15 sit-ups, 15 thrusters, 15 push-ups, 50-foot overhead walking lunge, etc., until you end on that walking lunge. For our intermediate variation, it is 21, 15, 9 reps for time of sit-ups, dumbbell thrusters, and push-ups, and then a 50-foot or a 25-foot walking lunge after each set. So these are unweighted, not the overhead walking lunge. And then our beginner variation, we have 15, 9, 3 reps for time of sit-ups, goblet squats, box push-ups with 10 alternating lunges after each set. One note I would just want to say about this one is we saw dumbbell thrusters last week. So this week, if possible, try to go heavier on the dumbbell thrusters than you did last week. If you were still working on form, don't worry about going heavier. Let's dial in that form. But if last week you were like, you know what, I think I could have gone heavier, should have gone heavier, go a little heavier this week on thrusters. On Tuesday, we have push press, 5 sets of 4 reps. We are going to superset with 6 ring dips, or you can also do 12 bench dips or 12 overhead triceps extension. Then we have an EMOM 12. For our advanced variation, minute 1, 10 bent over reverse flies, minute 2, 10 handstand push-ups, and minute 3, 10 tripod stance rows. Intermediate variation, we have our bent over reverse flies, 5 handstand push-ups, 10 tripod stance rows, and for our beginner variation, 10 bent over reverse flies, a 25-foot bear crawl, and 10 tripod stance rows. So 2 notes on this workout. First, on the bent over reverse flies, if you're able to, try to go heavier than you did last week when we did bent over reverse flies in last week's workout. However, form is the most important thing, especially with something that is a little bit more of an accessory movement, such as bent over reverse flies. You're going to get more out of the movement with proper form at lighter weight than you are if you are just kind of rushing through the movement or cutting it short for the sake of going heavier. And then my second note on the tripod stance rows, it says 10, but it is a single arm movement. So this is an EMOM 12. We have 3 movements. That means there's 4 rounds. So rounds 1 and 3, you will use your weak arm. For most of you, that is your left arm. And rounds 2 and 4, you will use your strong arm. For most of you, that is your right arm. So your first time through and your third time through, you'll use one arm. Second time through and your final time through, you will use the other arm. Hopefully that makes sense. We've done workouts like that before, so I think we'll be fine. On Wednesday, we have our deadlift 5 sets of 4 reps. I want to just remind us that we are coming to a dead stop at the bottom, resetting our nice neutral spine and our brace before taking off again. We are not doing touch and goes off of the ground. And we're going to superset these with 6 strict pull-ups, 6 jumping negative pull-ups, or 12 ring rows. Then we have an AMRAP 14. For our advanced variation, we have a 50-foot sled push, 50-foot sled pull, 10 kettlebell swings, and 11 toes to bar. For intermediate, we have a 50-foot sled push, 50-foot sled pull, 10 kettlebell swings, and 11 knees to elbow or knees to chest. And for our beginner variation, we have 25-foot sled push, 25-foot sled pull, 10 kettlebell swings, and 11 toes to rig or a 30-second plank. On the kettlebell swings, try to go heavier than you did last week, especially if there are fewer reps than last week. And if last week you were like, you know what, I could have gone heavier, go a little bit heavier. And we've added a rep for our core movement. So last week we did 10 toes to bar. This week we're doing 11. Then on Thursday, we have our bench press 5 sets of 4 reps. We're going to superset with 11 dumbbell bent over rows. So we're going down a rep on the bench, up a rep on the rows. We're offsetting all of that heavy pushing work with some pulling work. So these should be relatively heavy dumbbell bent over rows without sacrificing form. I feel like a broken record saying that. Then we have 5 supersets, advanced variation, and intermediate variation. We have 10 lateral raises, 20 alternating twist curls, and 10 plank pull-throughs. And for our beginner variation, we have 10 lateral raises, 20 alternating twist curls, and 10 alternating shoulder taps. You can probably guess what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Form, form, form. Select a weight that is going to allow you to complete the reps with proper form, therefore allowing you to get the most out of the movement. So for example, on your lateral raises, if you are, for lack of better terms, hipping the movement and you have a lot of upper body movement going on that's not isolating those shoulders, go down in weight. On your twist curls, again, if you're hipping the twist curls, then you have a lot of upper body movement, or those elbows keep flaring out as you try to curl up as kind of like a way to compensate for the heavier weight. Go down in weight, or fix your form with the heavier weight. And on the plank pull-throughs and the shoulder taps, if your hips are up in the air or they're moving side to side, correct that, fix that, do it right so you get out of it what you should. Then lastly, on Friday, we're going to do our cleans again, 5 sets of 4 reps, and we're going to add 1 rep to our SOTS press, Z press, or seated strict press. So we'll have 6 reps on that. I don't know about you guys, but if any of you that tried the SOTS press, for me, it was very eye-opening how limited in my overhead mobility I am. So I will be working on that throughout the week, but it was really nice to have that challenge there. So then we have a partner AMRAP 12. It's going to be you go, I go, but then you're going to run and or carry together. So for our advanced variation, we have 5 power clean and push jerks, 5 over the bar burpees, and a 200-meter sandbag run. So partner 1 would do clean and jerk, partner 2 would clean and jerk, partner 1 would burpee, partner 2 would burpee, and then you're going to take off on your run together. Intermediate, 5 power clean and push press. So if you have a hard time with the timing on the push jerk, yes, you can work on it in this workout, but if it's just not clicking for today, go ahead and do the push press. 5 over the bar burpees and a 100-meter sandbag run, or you could do a 200-meter run without the sandbag or a 100-meter run without the sandbag. And for our beginner variation, we have 5 dumbbell power clean and press, 5 burpees, and a 100-meter sandbag carry. That is all I have for this week's workouts. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to accessstrengthtraining@gmail.com. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great week of training.